Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. There's a myriad number of reasons that I either speak on something or that I don't speak on something. Consider the position that I'm in. Consider the position, okay, in terms of rank and what leads and what follows. The variables would be what's happening on the world stage. There are other people who engage and follow outside of the American intellect. Some of these people are in high-ranking positions of power. In fact, some of them are in the highest positions of power. So like I said before, there are multiple audiences. So just because it seems that I don't respond or remark on something, it's not for the reasons you would think. Words have power. Words are commands. Where I am comes with a huge responsibility. It's not just me. I set and command. The only thing above me is the Father. So one must be responsible with one's words. And besides that, most people already know the unspoken. It's there. They know. It's just that they won't speak it. But it is there. We're not stupid. Well, some of us are quite stupid. Some of us are. But you can't even call it that. You can't even call it that. Actually, if I'm being honest, none of the words in your lexicon really fit the situation in which you find yourselves. You are speaking a language that truly your enemy understands you, but you don't understand them. Because the enemy is spiritual. It's spiritual. At any rate, 18,500 children, people, have been killed thus far in the United States this year, give or take. 18,500. This wasn't at the hands of an enemy invasive force. No, this was at the hands of each other. Did not I tell you the murder rate or the death rate in America mimic some war zones in terms of the casualty rate on battlefields? If you was, I don't know who the winner, I don't know where y'all is on all this here, but to one of you guys, damn good shooting. Or stabbing, or pushing in front of cars, or poisoning, however you got them up out of here. This is damn good shooting. Ain't no way around it. If you break the numbers down into how many per day, that's damn good shooting. And we ain't got to the ones that's been wounded. That's the dead at their own hands. All of them Americans. Americans. I'm glad that I'm not a fucking American, because you guys are deadly. You are the deadly. I'm going to keep on over here playing make-believe like I'm a Hebrew Israelite or something and just mind my business, because the minute that I succumbed to this idea of Americana, I'm a dead man. It's not that, don't get me wrong, people have tried to put put my black ass in the cold, cold ground before. And I still haven't got it. Well, let's not joke about it. But they did. They took this shit so serious that they tried to put me in the cold, cold ground. What the hell? I thought that it was this country of ideas and arguments and debates. You know, well, we flesh out the arguments and it helps the country innovate. No, today it could get you murdered. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious. 18,500. 18,500. A man loses his life. Let me clear something up. For me, like everything else, it's just data. You want me to have an opinion. It's just data. For me. Now, those on social media and Fox News and MSNBC, well, it's more than just a data for them. They seem to have an emotional stake in it, a psychological stake in it. They really do. They really do. Both sides are using, man, you guys better stop rallying forces. Both sides are using this murder to rally their respective troops. Scary stuff, huh? This is the stuff that movies are made of, and I don't really mean movies. I really don't mean movies, but it'll make a damn good movie. So, like I said, I really don't like to have an opinion about these things because for me, it still hasn't developed enough. Because one thing I can tell you about this country's antics, nothing is as it seems. Nothing is as it seems, and these bastards are smart. Very smart. They'll have you thinking that man ran left when he really went right. They'll even put the footprints at least a quarter mile out, hoping that you just give up before that quarter mile is out and say he's just too far gone. It's that type of a situation. They have you guys involved in spy games. Spy games. I'm glad I'm here too because I like this kind of shit. Spy games. I mean, let that soak in a minute. You have emboldened them, yes you, to the point that they really believe that they can do whatever they want to do. And once that happens, guess what? They rule the world. Once they have injected enough fear and acceptance of the status quo, no matter how ugly it is, they now rule you. Ain't no way out of that supposition. It's just not. They rule you. Either you submit to rulership and accept it, because quite frankly, you're already there. You're already there. Honestly, the only thing standing between outright running over you and them is us, me. That's the only thing. I'm telling you this right now, and they know it. That's the only thing. They can't figure out how to get around Source and what he's capable of. And to the rest of you, who do you think I am? Anyway, there is no above me but God. Let me say this real slow. There is no above me but God. Okay? I'm gonna say again. So for any of those, anyway, I'm not going down that path. I already have, but just understand that. There's no above me but the Ancient of Ancients and his secrets and his mysteries. And he got a shitload of them too. I still got questions. But that comes later. They already rule you. They already rule you. I mean, for all practical purposes, they rule you. People from other places now rule you. And you could see this coming. Once you got out of the Banks, Jacksons, Johnsons, Samuels, you see where I'm going with this? Pre-Jeans, all of your standard American names that were here in the 70s and 80s, you were over then. You were over then. Okay? And this is nothing against the new Americans. But we got to call a spade a spade. We have to call a spade a spade. Not to mention that you've been under attack from the parties in one way or the other as a people in this country a long time. None of them really respect you. I mean, not none of them. Neither of them respect you. They both take money by the millions and millions of dollars each to represent other interests, largely foreign interests at this point. Irrespective of what the rest of the government, what the rest of the people are actually saying. Inside of a representative, what they say is a representative democratic government. Representative is the operative word. Who do they represent? And why don't they represent you? But then you can see this coming because you monetize everything. Everything. Nothing in this country is free. So are we surprised that they buy your vote? Buy your job? Listen, if a group of people can get together and shut down a whole university, get someone fired, not because they said something, but because they respected the rights of the students in this area of freedom of speech and debate and competition amongst ideas. This is what it's there for. And this tiny group that actually, in the big scheme of things, represents nothing more than a sect. A sect, in the big scheme of things, can get them shut down, get them fired, possibly lose their house, their careers, mess up their marriages. And this is what they intend. This is their intent. They've done this, trust me, from the street level all the way up to the White House 1,000 times. And that's just in my lifetime. That's just in my lifetime. I'm gonna tell you again, all it takes is a combination of weak ass men and loose ass women. It's over then. It is over. Once a combination of weak-ass men and loose-ass women get into any position of authority, you are screwed. You are screwed. You don't have to ask me. Ask that loose-ass woman. I had to sneak that one in. Sorry, ladies. But it was fair. It was fair. It was fair. At any rate, I want you to think about this, though, because that's where you're at now. That's where you're at now. A bunch of lust-filled men and supporting, at least on the academic level, on the rudimentary level of these men, these lust-filled men, that can be controlled by their eyeballs. And the sight of hips and breasts is just something that they cannot overcome. They will do anything for it. Who is in charge here? I know where y'all think I'm going, and you'd be right. Except I'm not going to go here tonight. Because they don't want me to. They don't want me to, so I'm going to oblige them tonight. But they're smart. They knew just where I was going with it. Just where I was going with it. You're being rude. Rude. And I wear multiple hats. Multiple. I'm not... Where would I rank in the big scheme of things in man's political affairs? Socio-political affairs. Geopolitical affairs. Where would I rank? I mean, in terms of what would be my position? Would it be at the bottom, in the middle, or somewhere at the top, or somewhere in the middle? Think about these things. Think about these things. So when you say things like, he be changing up, well, you have to understand the words out of my mouth. Everything is said or not said for a reason. Trust me. Nothing is overlooked. Nothing. Like the fact that I've been posting 4 or 5 videos or audios or whatever or audio videos at once rather than daily. That even has a cause. That even has a reason. But by the way, the last video is actually the first when I published these sets. So whatever the topic that I'm talking about is at least 5 days old. The first posted is the last, which would make it the most current one. With that being said, one of these positions that I must entertain is the one of Christianity. Of Christianity. And who's involved in it? And do they really believe? Do they really believe? I have to entertain this shit. And it is shit. Because mankind is fickle. They can believe one thing and then be acting a whole nother way. And then here's the kicker. It could be out of fear, out of blackmail, but they really do believe. They just don't believe quite enough to lose their life or their fucking careers. For obvious reasons. Nigga, is you lose your job, you lose your woman, and you lose your house. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. You should entertain as to why that is. Anyway, damn it, I just keep throwing rocks. Take those rocks out of here. They're just pebbles, but anyway, they're going to become aggravated if I keep hitting them with small rocks. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so where does this shit go? You're being rude. I mean, one man, this proves what God was saying, that you can't do this on your own. They're not, listen, your enemy is not doing this on their own. They got backup. The spirits are backing them up. Demons are backing them up. And the devil is backing them up. And you think that you're going to do it by yourself. Some shit you have to say. Some shit you have to ask for. Some shit you have to say out loud. I said a few years ago to some people, sometimes you have to tell me what you want. Don't sit back and wait on me. I got too much to entertain. And you may have the latest idea. Somehow I didn't think about that. I don't know how. All these hours spent thinking, And it's at least 9 hours of nothing but of thinking awake every day, and another 3 to 4 hours while I'm sleeping. B, you know how I know? B, because I wake up with new shit on my mind that I wasn't thinking about the night before. It's just there. That's because my brain ain't really asleep. This body just needs rest. And I'm sure my brain gets sick of it because my mind don't need no rest. And neither does the spirit. Just the flesh. Just the flesh. The flesh want to eat. The flesh wants some water. The flesh want to rest. And some of y'all's on the flesh like to touch other flesh. I guess that's a good thing, but just be careful out there. Just be careful. I guess it's a normal aspect of life, but still, is the reality of the situation is what it is. Is what it is. You're under attack and you're being rude. Just as sure as I'm sitting, they just driving the point home. They're just driving the point home. That they don't care what you think, as long as they can control your government, then you as the people are paralyzed. At least you act like it. And again, I don't want to be the impetus for anything. So you ain't doing nothing in my name. If I want some shit, I'm talking anyway. I call them like I see them. I call them like I see them. Everybody has a job to do. You do yours, I do mine, the enemy do theirs. Now, with all that being said, listen, people, it's time for reality. Now, the general population don't know who Charlie Kirk is. Most definitely, overwhelmingly, in the black and African American community, they don't know who Charlie Kirk was. Okay? Not by any stretch. Not by any stretch. They are so far removed that really the name means nothing to them. But that's not who we're talking about. That's the black masses at large, and most minorities, because it's not something that just normally come through our feed as minorities. It would never come through our feed, any of his views, any of his podcast, or anything else that was right wing, because we simply don't entertain it overall. But others, like podcasters, people like me, other social platforms, do entertain it. Do entertain it. Because it's good to know how all of the parties think ideologically. Which brings me back to Christianity. Now, I know that's a wide right turn, but I can make it happen. I got a sign on the back anyway that say wide right turns. I think I can make it. If we have a record, they fault. I told them. It's even flashing. But here's the issue, and why I say that mankind is fickle. And it's beyond any one man. It's beyond any one woman, too. Once you watch this shit long enough, you can see this. It's beyond any race. And I'm not letting white folks off the hook. But again, I call a spade like I call a spade is a spade. I don't avoid anybody or any topic. Ask anybody. Ask anybody. If you've been attempted to be unalive enough times, then it seems to do something to you. You slowly reach that fucking moment, and you get yourself a sword, and you learn how to make bombs. Invest in hardware. and that's not a joke. That's not a joke at all, because that's exactly what I've done. I went and got myself a sword. In fact, I got myself two. No, three. One I lost, and it was fair and square. I couldn't even get mad. It was to law enforcement in San Antonio. They just caught me with it. I didn't. Oh man! At the end of the day, they walked away with the weapon, and I didn't go to jail that day. Okay? Think of it as a law. I laugh at it now because I was getting tired of it anyway. I really didn't want the bastard on me anymore. I'm in a strange ass city. I don't got no enemies. Little did I know I had been followed down there. But anyway, man, y'all people crazy. Y'all crazy everywhere. Listen, I mean, this is just a segue. In San Antonio, I'm at the store. Inside of my bag is this pistol. Okay? It don't matter the caliber or nothing else. On the sign when you walk in, it say, leave all backpacks and bags at the front of the store. Now you know me, I put the bag down right by the cash register. Underneath the cash register, on the floor. And I proceed to go get some coffee, and a cup of ice. I make the U-turn and I finna get some cigarettes. I look up from making the coffee, and here's a black woman. She got my bag on her shoulder. Now what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? I'm sick of you niggas stealing from me, man. and I use the term nigga most liberally. I'm not talking about black folks because it ain't anyway. Anyway, it's irrelevant. So I walk up to her, and I was so nice and kind. I reached for it, and as I removed it from her shoulder gently, I said, "Ma'am, you do not want this bag. You just think you do. You don't want this bag. You really don't." And she said, "Oh, I thought this was, I had thought this was my bag." And then she walked out of the store without any bag. In 1994, it would have been a different results and different conclusion, and very loud. She wouldn't have walked away so damn easy. I caught her red-handed, but anyway, for us, source, all things of man is of man. It is data to be processed, analyzed, and entered into the big mainframe in which we make decisions from. Okay? So don't draw us into what you would want to draw us into as you have drawn each other into. Black people have an opinion. They have an opinion. How should they feel? How should they feel? Okay? Hold that thought. Let's get back to Christianity and what does it really mean? Because to me, you can't hold hateful views and then still be a God-fearing man or woman. You may think you can, but I know you can't, because hate drives you. Two things, maybe three things, can separate a man from his God: money, women, and hate. All of them will remove your ass or separate you from what you thought your ass believed in. That's the truth. That is the truth. Ask them. Ask them. Ask them point blank. Just pick a strange man out at the store and ask him. You don't gotta believe me. Some shit is just obvious in most of our lives. It's just fact. We just don't speak on it. So part of my job would entail trying to gather the people of the cloth, what you would term a Christian. You got, I don't know how many different denominations of Christianity, but all of them say that they believe in the same God and who they call Jesus Christ, which I'm not going to play with you much longer. He was the artist's homosexual lover. Below the belt, too bad. He is cute though, ain't he? Come on, guys. If you remove the mustache, remove the beard, and bring him up to 1990 rock band status when they was wearing long hair and tight clothes and leotards and shit and screaming into microphones with flashing lights. There you go. There you go. I can see why the artist fell in love with. Anyway, my bad. My bad. And I mean to be insulting. I mean to be insulting, at least along those lines. But, so what should I do? I am to gather the people of the cloth, and I am to gather the God-chosen people. And they pretty much hate each other. Well, you hate them. They don't have enough power to hate you. They can be prejudiced against you. They can be biased against you. But I must tell you, sir, they can never practice racism against you because they have no power. And without power, you cannot practice racism, because to practice racism, you have to have control of the systems of the governors and its institutions. If you cannot do that, then, sir, you are just hateful for no damn reason. Your hate has no return. Your hate has no return. Take it back to the store. It's just going to drive your slow ass into death. Hate causes stress, and they stay stressed and fearful. I couldn't live like that. Anyway, but they do. Anyway, I'm off the beaten path. You don't even know who the hell I'm talking about, or do you? I'm talking about the hateful people. They stay stressed out. They stay angry. They always have some negative shit to say, and they feign love for someone. But I found that, anyway, let's get back to where I'm going. But hate and love don't mix. And hate never stays in one place. I figure a man that'll hate one thing is fully capable of hating something else, and then hating something after that, and then hating something after that. And especially the things that he can't alter or change or is into forced acceptance. Like I wish that the American population would finally arrive at. But back to the sheep and God's chosen. This is like herding cats. I have to be careful here. I can't afford to alienate. Oh, I can force the truth. But let's be real, black people, there's only so much truth you can take. Or any other race could. Any other race. Anyway, black people have a right to feel how they feel about the incident. About the incident, okay? I speak as a servant of God and as a servant of them and as a servant of those who believe at large. Black people have a right to feel the way they do about anything in this country because they have been victims of it, oppressed by it. So do not expect them to find sadness in what you find sadness in. Just hope that they don't find glory in it, which they don't. Which they don't. But they do have a right to their opinion. And let's be real. Do I have to say it? Because I don't want to say it. You know the gentleman. You know his points of view. You know the things he said up previously. So please don't make me say it. So why would not black people, after hearing right-wing politics, feel the way they do about right-wing politics? Are you expecting something different? For real? Are you expecting something different? Because you're not being fair. If you are, would you be different? Come on, we got a lot of experience with you. And it's never changed. In short, actually, we have nothing to do with it. Which brings me to my next point. Why do we have something to do with it? Why are you people, that used to piss me off, you people, but now you people go into black spaces looking for what black people are saying about any given topic. They don't go into your spaces like that. They don't. They really don't. Most of them wouldn't even know how. When I say that they know nothing of you, they know nothing of you. Honestly, you could call them shallow. They're not political like that. Not at all, which is a problem. But they're not. But what I'm trying to say is, so when they show you vengeful or negative statements driven by emotion, most of them, hardly ever by careful analysis, then that only means that they're human like you. That's all. But don't expect anything different. But on the flip side of that black people in this country are not monolithic in nature. Far be from, you ain't even close to it. Far from it. Nowhere are we monolithic in our views, perspectives, beliefs. Actually, not even culturally. You would be surprised at the differences. Now already is somebody already thinking, here it goes. No, not really. Not really. But we're going to shoot at it a little bit. We ain't going to try to hit it. We're going to shoot around the target. But don't think that we're missing. The object is to hit around it. Oh, man. Now, to show you how culturally different we are, here's an example. The professional class, i.e. those who go into universities and colleges, have a distinct, different set of principles and values than those who don't. Let's start right there. I won't be going into the differences. We tend to know what they are. No need to talk about it. No need. It is unremarkable. It's unremarkable because everybody knows it. For the practice, I'm getting my words all twisted. For the purposes of what I'm saying, it's unremarkable. But we're not the same culturally, okay? You have to work this into your valuables from now on. Learn this. This is so important that the rest of the world, and particularly in the United States, understand this. Now, y'all making me listen. Why is it that the HBCUs feel threatened by what's going on? Why? By the death of a of a white podcaster, right wing. Not that there's nothing wrong with right wing. You would be surprised at where I stand on some views. Some of them you would think would be right wing, but they're not. That would make God right wing. No, some things just are. Sometimes the right wing is just right. You can't get upset. I mean, even a broke clock is right twice a day. Okay? Even a broke clock is right twice a day. If you just look at the right time. The problem is you. Anyway, these things overlap. And so I am forced to sit back and watch who's saying what they add in their heads, because I know what someone says and feels today is not necessarily what they're going to say and feel tomorrow. Things change. Views change. This is why I hesitate, and some of you should thank me. You should thank me going back to 2005, at least, because you got on my nerves, but you were young at the same time that you was getting on my damn nerves. And look, turns out I was right. They had became something else. Different views, different arguments, different perspectives. But if I had done what I would do today, well, I would have interfered in that transition. Interfered. He or she didn't need no help. They just needed patience, not help, but patience. They was going to get there on their own, without me doing obscene shit like going inside their mind and doing it that way, and scared the living shit out of them and letting them know, hey, if I can do this inside of your head, what else can I do inside your head? Have you questioned that? Have you stopped to think about that? You should. You should. But anyway, one of the charges is gather the sheep. And these sheep are left. Did I just say that? Some of the sheep is on the left. Y'all better get the hell up out of there. I might come in there and rescue you, or I may not, because it is thick in there. I'm going to need 2 staffs and a sword and my armor and a helmet. How y'all get in there and you still alive? Don't tell me. I'll come get you. Y'all just got to wait, though. But on the left and the right. And they hate each other. Sort of like white people hate black people. Sort of like those who would want to be white also hate black people. Let's be real. I'm not talking about all white people or all black people or all else, but we know this to be a fact. Hate means you operate against me. That's what hate means. That's what hate produces. So don't say that it's not hate. Yes, it is. It is hate. You can call it what you want to, but let me ask you something. Is the way you feel negative about another group of people? Be honest. Now, but that's just the first statement. Is your hate is how you feel about those other people actionable on your part? Actionable. Do I have to describe the different ways in day-to-day life where your hate could possibly become actionable? And you want me to believe that you are so strong that you can overcome your own spirit based in hate. which I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to believe you. Your hate just goes underground. It just be quiet. Okay? It just dodges shit like you two. But anyway, that's pointless. The last 150 words were totally freaking pointless because it's not about your hate. For the most part, the vast majority of your hate is not actionable because you have no power. You have no power at bit. Anyway, I got to come and to get the sheep. And all of the sheep hate each other. All of the sheep have been operating against each other. Hell, you have no idea. And God expects me to lend a hand and bringing them into one spot. And that's just the Gentiles. I ain't even got over here to the black sheep. Oh, they been wanting to kill each other. And they tried to at least a couple of times. All right? Now, Mr. Man over here rounds them all up and put them back in the same spot again. Sir, we didn't like each other from a long time ago. We didn't even mess with each other from a long time ago. And this is the result. Now, you got FBAs, African American, Negro, colored, and black being used interchangeably for confusion. Confusion. Which is what it's meant to do. It's sort of like when the people keep saying God, 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 like we stupid. This world, they have built out of stone and wood, God after God after God after God after God. They've been known to worship dead God after God after God after God, and they keep screaming God as if they're talking about the same God as each other is, which proves to you that all of the demigods, and they have to be a smaller God, have to be a lesser God to fall underneath the umbrella of something that they refer to as a small g, God, without ever saying his name. What a bunch of freakish ass cowards. And their God. No one has to respect their God because their God is them. Their God is them. Let me tell you how I know. Here's how I know. Their God cannot do anything without using them. Not a damn thing can. I'm talking about the devil because all of the rest of them are non-living. Only the devil shall we respect. The rest of them dead. They are just believing dead shit. And dead shit don't do shit. But anyway, their God, the devil, has to use real live human beings to do things, which are very small things, but taken as a cumulative matter, a cumulative, god damn it. Somebody help me out here. Somebody help me out. Don't just let me embarrass myself. Correct me. What kind of class are you? And don't call that shit respect. You see me up here struggling with the word. You know what word that I'm looking for, and you sit here quietly. I guess it's for your own personal. Well, your mama did pay for the class. They did pay for the class. I guess it come with the class. But it's unfair. When you see me struggling, get in there. Help me out. Anyway, over time, a cumulative effect, I think that's the word, time after time after time after time after time after time after time, then sooner or later it starts to have its effect within the family first, and then the culture, and then finally the government itself. This is why I say it's hard for me to feel sorry about anything. because it is you who give birth to people like Leopold. See? People like the slave masters. It's all you. Dirty politicians. Dirty police officers. That's all you, boo-boo. That's all. These are all your babies. Don't look at me strange. These are all your babies. This is what they became, and you are responsible for at least 18. Well, we're going to stick to your law. 18 years. And this is what you turned out. And now they have ruined everything, but their mamas and daddy loved them to death, and some of them was even proud of them. Some of them was even proud as they walked across the stage. Imagine such a thing. Imagine such a thing. Look at the situation now. What are you proud of now? What are you proud of now? Anyway, I'm running out of time here, both literally and figuratively. I'm running out of time. Okay? If not patience. Patience ain't, for the first time, is thicker than you have time. Things are moving fast. Faster than you think. But wow, much faster than you think. You wake your asses up and go to work and school every day, and around you, war is brewing. War is brewing. It's out of control. Mine. Here's my point, and my last point, or final point on me trying to buttress my last point. Trying to do what I do is like herding cats. It's like herding cats. It really is. And you can't be afraid to every now and then hurt the cat. You know, I got a big ass net. Think of it this way, and the net is encapsulated in metal. I swing the net, and every now and then a cat get knocked across the head. It's not because I tried to, but he's too quick. He just believes in his own speed, and he run his ass into the steel. Just inside of it is nothing but net. But at any rate, don't expect anything from the children of slaves. Don't expect anything from them. Non-support, support, because we're not a part like that. This is what I'm saying. We all got to stop. What part do we play in this country at this point? Can you be real? Can you say openly that? Anyway, it's too early and it's too fresh. It's too early and it's too fresh. And I respect children, all of them. All of them. If not you. If not him. If not your mothers. I will always respect them. Because they don't deserve a lot of the shit that I say. They really don't. And I know this. But it has to be said. And I can only hope that they understand. Because you will never say it. Their lives are being hawked like for future money. I mean for right now the money. Their futures are being hawked like in a pawn shop. They have no intention of fixing the problem because they can't. They can't. And they're too arrogant to say that they can't. They don't know how. So at some point, someone has to realize this and render aid, do something. They're not always capable of screaming help. I've had to learn so many damn lessons. So many lessons. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up now. I'm at the end of my time. Okay? What's going to happen is going to happen. For us, there is no right wing. There is no left wing. This is just data points and labels that you made for each other. Me is just information. In fact, you'll find quite often I'll say damn, because that wasn't a part of nothing that I foreseen. And for us, it's better that we bring that man around to our point of view than to take his life. I am Source. I am 7. I am 1.